When wiring a boathouse, several National Electrical Code or NEC articles and considerations are crucial for safety and compliance. NEC Article 555 covering marinas and boatyards is directly relevant. Additionally, NEC Article 400 addresses flexible cords and cables, which may be used in certain boathouse applications. Wiring above the water level in a boathouse must be installed in conduit. This protects the wiring from physical damage and moisture. All junction boxes must be weatherproof and accessible for maintenance. This ensures that connections are protected from the elements and can be easily inspected and serviced. Switches must be mounted on a weatherproof surface or inside a weatherproof enclosure. This prevents moisture from entering the switch and causing a short circuit or other electrical hazard. All outlets must be GFCI protected or have a weatherproof cover. GFCI protection is essential to prevent electric shock hazards near water. Additionally, weatherproof covers protect the outlets from moisture. All electrical equipment must be properly grounded to the service ground. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing electrical shock. While using Romex, specifically NMB cable, is permitted for wiring inside the finished ceiling of the boathouse, it is important to note that switches and any exposed wiring must be protected by conduit. Sleeving switches out of the ceiling is not permitted by the NEC. All switches must be mounted on a surface or inside an enclosure for safety and code compliance. The electrical panel should be located in a dry, concealed location within the boathouse. This protects the panel from moisture and physical damage, while also providing a clean and organized appearance. Firstly, all electrical components should be easily accessible for inspection and maintenance. This ensures that any issues can be quickly identified and addressed. Secondly, provide adequate ventilation for the electrical equipment to prevent overheating. Thirdly, consider installing a lockable cover on the electrical panel to prevent unauthorized access. Fourthly, all electrical components should be protected from moisture and water damage. This is especially important in a boathouse environment. Considering the specifics, wiring inside the finished ceiling with Romex is allowed, provided exposed sections and switches are protected by a conduit. Switches require mounting on the surface or within an enclosure, contrary to sleeving them out of the ceiling. The electrical panel should be in a dry, hidden area. Accessibility is key for all electrical parts to facilitate checks and repairs. Good ventilation is a must for the electrical equipment to prevent overheating. A lockable cover on the electrical panel is a good idea for security. Protect all electrical parts from water damage. Always reference the NEC for the latest regulations and local amendments. Remember, working with electricity can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician. The proper installation of electrical systems in a boathouse is critical to ensure the safety of people and property. By following the NEC guidelines and taking the necessary precautions, you can help to prevent electrical hazards and create a safe and enjoyable boating environment. Key considerations for boathouse wiring include: firstly, using appropriate wiring methods. Secondly, providing overcurrent protection. Thirdly, ensuring proper grounding. Fourthly, using GFCI protection near water. And fifthly, protecting wiring from physical damage and moisture. Firstly, for wiring methods, use wiring methods suitable for wet locations such as type UF cable or conduit. Secondly, for overcurrent protection, provide overcurrent protection for all circuits, such as circuit breakers or fuses. Thirdly, for grounding, ensure that all electrical equipment is properly grounded to the service ground. Fourthly, for GFCI protection, use GFCI protection for all outlets and circuits near water. Fifthly, for protection from physical damage and moisture, protect wiring from physical damage and moisture by using conduit or other suitable means. When selecting wiring methods, consider the environment in which the wiring will be installed. In wet locations, use type UF cable or conduit. In dry locations, you can use type NM cable. When providing overcurrent protection, select circuit breakers or fuses that are sized appropriately for the circuit. When grounding electrical equipment, use a grounding electrode system that meets the requirements of the NEC. When using GFCI protection, be sure to test the GFCI regularly to ensure that it is working properly. When protecting wiring from physical damage and moisture, use conduit or other suitable means. Boathouse electrical systems must be properly installed and maintained to ensure safety. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician. The NEC provides detailed requirements for electrical installations in marinas and boatyards. These requirements are designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. Always consult the NEC before performing any electrical work in a boathouse. In addition to the NEC, there may be local codes and regulations that apply to boathouse electrical systems. Be sure to check with your local building department to determine the applicable requirements. Working with electricity can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician. Proper grounding is crucial. All metallic parts of the electrical system, including the panel, conduit, and equipment enclosures, must be properly grounded. The grounding system should be connected to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. Grounding helps to protect against electric shock by providing a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker. GFCI protection is required for all 125 volt, 15 and 20 ampere receptacles installed in boathouses. GFCI protection is also required for other electrical equipment located near water. GFCIs detect ground faults and quickly interrupt the flow of electricity, preventing electric shock. Overcurrent protection is required for all circuits in a boathouse. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, protect wiring and equipment from damage caused by excessive current flow. The overcurrent protection device should be sized appropriately for the circuit. Proper wiring methods are essential for boathouse electrical systems. Wiring should be installed in conduit or cable that is suitable for wet locations. The wiring should be properly supported and protected from physical damage. Junction boxes and other enclosures should be weatherproof to prevent moisture from entering. Electrical panel should be located in a dry, accessible location. The panel should be large enough to accommodate all of the circuits in the boathouse. The panel should be properly labeled to identify each circuit. All electrical work in a boathouse should be performed by a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the knowledge and experience to safely install and maintain electrical systems. Working with electricity can be dangerous. It is always best to leave electrical work to the professionals. Regular inspections and maintenance are important for boathouse electrical systems. The electrical system should be inspected regularly for signs of damage or wear. Any damaged or worn component should be replaced immediately. The grounding system should be tested periodically to ensure that it is working properly. By following these tips, you can help to ensure that your boathouse electrical system is safe and reliable. In summary, always use conduit for wiring above the waterline, ensuring all junction boxes are weatherproof and accessible. Mount switches on weatherproof surfaces or within enclosures and ensure all outlets have GFCI protection or weatherproof covers. Ground all electrical equipment to the service ground correctly. While Romex is acceptable within finished ceilings, exposed wiring and switches must be within conduit. Avoid sleeving switches from the ceiling. Instead, surface or enclosure mounting is necessary. Locate your panel in a dry, concealed area, ensuring easy access for maintenance and inspections. Provide good ventilation for electrical equipment. Consider adding a lock to the electrical panel for security. Protect all electrical components from moisture and water damage. Always refer to the NEC and local regulations for compliance. If you lack confidence in electrical work, hire a certified electrician. Consider surge protection to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage spikes caused by lightning or other electrical disturbances. Use corrosion-resistant materials for all electrical components in the boathouse to prevent corrosion from moisture and salt air. Install a lightning protection system to protect the boathouse from lightning strikes. Ensure that all electrical equipment is properly labeled with warning signs and instructions. Keep the boathouse clean and free of debris to prevent fire hazards. Develop an emergency plan in case of an electrical fire or other electrical emergency. Educate all boathouse users about electrical safety. By taking these additional precautions, you can further enhance the safety and reliability of your boathouse electrical system. Firstly, understand the NEC requirements. Secondly, plan the electrical layout carefully. Thirdly, choose the right wiring methods and materials. Fourthly, install grounding and bonding systems. Fifthly, provide overcurrent protection. Sixthly, use GFCI protection. Seventhly, protect wiring from physical damage and moisture. Eighthly, follow local codes and regulations. Ninthly, hire a qualified electrician. And tenthly, inspect and maintain the electrical system regularly.